Welcome to the Life in Focus podcast. It's brought to you through Rogers Research Global with your host, clinical psychologist, Dr. Marie Rogers.
Hello, and welcome to today's episode. This is Your Life in Focus, where we talk about all things neuroscience, mental health, executive functioning, psychoneuroimmunology, or loosely the mind-body connection, and mindfulness. It is now September, which means we will soon be welcoming autumn, one of my favorite seasons. I took a little break over the summer with my podcasting schedule, but I'm now ready to get back on a more regular one. During my break, I published an additional journal and a notebook. Many of you are familiar with my Life in Focus, a self-discovery journal for powerful transformation that I published last September. I got a lot of wonderful feedback about the journal. A common theme that came up was that quite a few of you so loved the morning habit of connecting with intention and gratitude that you were copying the pages in order to keep this going. Well, you don't have to do that anymore. Based on the wonderful feedback, I decided to publish the journal that comes after the 12-week program of Life in Focus, and that is the 52-week journaling program of manifestation. The new journal, published last month, called The Power of Manifestation, Bringing Your Vision to Life through Intention Setting, Gratitude, and Self-Reflection, is an excellent next journal. Its premise is to invite and attract rather than to force and chase. And it is your guide to creating a life that aligns with purpose, meaning, success, and your bucket list. The importance of manifestation is that it brings your vision to life. By applying the building blocks of manifestation, you will be setting yourself on the path toward the life you have always desired. Research supports that our thoughts, our beliefs, and our mindset can profoundly affect our behavior, perceptions, and ultimately our reality and destiny. I will be dedicating an entire episode to manifestation in the near future. I hope you check the journal workbook out. All my books are on Amazon. The other thing I publish is ideas, inspirations, insights, my notebook for capturing creativity. It is a multi-purpose notebook that includes both lined and blank pages, which will allow you to write, journal, doodle, and/or draw your thoughts. It is thin enough to carry around with you in your purse, briefcase, beach bag, or backpack, and yet it has enough pages to keep you creative and inspired for quite some time. I love capturing my thoughts and ideas in writing and then looking back and revisiting my entries. Okay, now let's get to today's topic. Today, I'd like to talk about a growing mental health concern, anxiety, and even more specifically, social anxiety disorder, or social phobia. Mental health professionals are observing and reporting a meteoric rise in rates of anxiety disorders, both in children and adults. Anxiety disorders have a deep biological basis and can be described as chronic intermittent disorders. Interference in day-to-day functioning is an important criterion in the diagnosis of an anxiety disorder. As I mentioned a bit ago, in today's podcast, I will be talking specifically about social anxiety disorder, which is a type of anxiety that is also known as social phobia. I'm going to talk about what it is, what it feels like, and what one can do if challenged with it. Before specifically addressing social anxiety disorder, it is important to keep mindful of the following. These points are repeated throughout the Life in Focus podcast. Anything you do that is helpful for managing overall states of anxiety will help in managing social anxiety. A regulated nervous system is key to long-term anxiety management, regardless of the nature of the anxiety. And self-care plays an important role in supporting treatment. Social anxiety disorder is characterized by an intense fear of and an avoidance of social situations and a negative self-perception. Those with social anxiety disorder are very self-conscious and they fear being negatively judged by others or becoming embarrassed. Feelings of inadequacy and low self-esteem are part of the clinical picture. The intensity of the fear can be so overwhelming that it interferes with their daily activities, with their relationships, and with their overall quality of life. Meeting new people, speaking in public, or even arranging to meet friends and colleagues out for an evening of fun or for dinner or drinks can create an internal cascade and release of stress hormones signaling panic. Basically, the terror alarm has been set off. For it to be an actual disorder, the social anxiety and all that comes with it must be around for a duration of 6 months. Of great concern is the current epidemic of isolation and loneliness that so many are experiencing, leading to mental and physical health complications and breakdowns. For those with social anxiety disorder, the situation becomes even more complicated. There is a significant rise in social anxiety, isolation, and loneliness following the global pandemic. Individuals with social anxiety disorder are not choosing isolation or to remove themselves from others. While one may be an introvert with social anxiety disorder, you could also be an extrovert and have it. Social anxiety does not mean that you do not want to socialize, but instead that you feel anxiety about socializing. Also, social anxiety is not another term for shyness. Social anxiety disorder is not about being somewhat uncomfortable in social situations, preferring maybe to keep to oneself. It is based in fear. They are avoiding social situations. They seek the same social connections as others, but are unfortunately debilitated by the intensity of their fear. Those with social anxiety disorder tend to engage in protracted negative reflections before attending and after leaving social events. Whereas almost everyone will self-reflect when it comes to interacting with others, the self-language and rumination of the individual with social anxiety disorder tends to focus on the most negative aspect of the social exchange. There is both anticipatory anxiety leading up to the social interaction and self-reflective anxiety afterward. Often misunderstood by friends, colleagues, and family members who do not experience social anxiety and have little understanding as to how something that should be fun, or at least not at all anxiety-provoking, such as like a birthday celebration gathering, like how it can create such internal havoc and dysregulation in the individual with social anxiety disorder, often well-intentioned but largely misinformed. Their response will be to minimize or downplay the reaction, offering simple suggestions to help the person get over the fear. Unfortunately, the minimization and downplaying of the apprehension only serves to heighten feelings of inadequacy and shame. Before going into its symptoms, it's important to note social anxiety disorder is associated with an increased risk of developing comorbid conditions such as major depression, acute grief, and substance abuse disorders. So what are the physical symptoms of social anxiety disorder? The anxiety can trigger physical symptoms such as, but not limited to, the following: a rapid heart rate, sweating, trembling or shaking, difficulty speaking, and freezing. Approximately 15 million adults in the USA are affected by social anxiety disorder. If left untreated, it typically remains stable and persistent across one's lifespan. Without intervention, social anxiety disorder does not go away on its own. It is unfortunately both common and debilitating, and its prevalence is growing fast. Most cases occur by the time the person has reached 23 years of age, with the experiencing of symptoms occurring typically in early adolescence. In young children, it can present itself as school refusal, tears and tantrums, and or clinging to parents, as we often see in those diagnosed with separation anxiety disorder. Here's another data point. Children who develop social anxiety disorder before the age of 12 are not likely to just outgrow it. Left untreated, they usually grow to become socially anxious teenagers and adults. Genetics play a large role. A family history of anxiety disorders increases the risk. Additional factors can include past experiences with negative social interactions, bullying, and trauma. If you believe social anxiety disorder describes you, then do not be disheartened. There are actions you can take right now to help. First and foremost is to seek mental health treatment. By working with a skilled mental health professional, you will increase your chances for success. Anxiety disorders, especially social anxiety, are difficult to treat on their own. With so many treatments available today, especially ones rooted in trauma therapy, there is no reason for you to suffer alone or not get the help needed to live a full and joyful life. Also, there are well-documented lifestyle habits that help mitigate the effects of anxiety. These are not quick fixes, but they are helpful in rewiring and regulating the setting within your brain, the amygdala, that quickly and wrongly warns of danger. Remember the acronym for fear: false evidence appearing real. Current research in neuroscience is supporting that the practices of mindfulness, meditation, and yoga help regulate a dysregulated mind and body. Furthermore, advances depicting the power of neuroplasticity show us that the brain and neuronal patterns can change at any age. If neurons that fire together wire together, then perhaps what we now need is a new pattern of neuronal firing to lead to new wiring. This is the pathway to anxiety management. Imagine not only not feeling anxious when meeting new people or interacting socially, but actually looking forward to it. This is a game changer, and this can become your new pattern. Let's look deeper into these interventions. Psychotherapy. This is your first best step. Schedule an appointment with a mental health provider whose specialties include the assessment and treatment of anxiety and anxiety-related disorders. Cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, is typically the gold standard. It is one of the subcategories of talk therapy. Your treating therapist will in all likelihood recommend exposure therapy, which we will discuss in the next section, and may recommend trauma-based therapy either in addition to your talk therapy or perhaps instead of it. A support group and/or a medication consultation with a psychiatrist to determine if medication may be suitable for your or your child's situation if we're talking about a minor. Children with social anxiety disorder can also benefit from cognitive behavioral therapy, but depending on age, their therapy will in all likelihood be play therapy, a form of therapy specialized for young children. I mentioned exposure therapy. Exposure therapy is an intervention in which anxious individuals strategically expose themselves to their fears. It is the antidote to avoidance behaviors, which only serve to strengthen the fear. In therapy, an agreed-upon plan is created to help you move in small forward steps in the direction of your fear in order to conquer it. In circumstances such as social anxiety, I like to advise my clients to find a trusted family member or friend to help you with your exposure therapy. You don't have to do this alone. Reach out and ask for help. Do not view yourself as a burden. Most people really do enjoy helping. A non-anxious accountability partner who agrees to go with you to the next social function, yoga class, or lecture can make all the difference in the world. Create a plan beforehand and communicate your needs to this trusted individual. For example, you can say, "When you see me freeze while speaking, please step in and take over the conversation." This allows for the safety net needed to help reduce the possibility of perceived embarrassment. Gradually work your way to more and more social interactions. Initially, start slow. Begin with less intimidating events. As you gain more confidence, you will take on more challenging situations. For example, if there's an outdoor workout class you would like to attend, ask your accountability buddy to join you. Together, you will do this, and as a bonus, you will get a great workout. Over time, as you gradually expose yourself to these situations, and as your mirror neurons watch your accountability partner navigate the social world, you may find yourself feeling more confident and motivated to move forward on your own. Another wonderful intervention is yoga. Yoga is a deeply rooted healing practice emphasizing the mind-body connection through the use of postures, breathing, and meditation, and it originated thousands of years ago and may be one of the most healing interventions you can weave into your life to reduce anxiety, tension, and dysregulation. Yoga both strengthens the nervous system while simultaneously calming it. A stronger and calmer nervous system is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself. This will take time, but it is so worth it. Using magnetic resonance spectroscopic imaging, researchers at the Boston University School of Medicine found that practicing yoga may elevate GABA levels. Why is that important? Because GABA is a natural brain relaxant that helps you feel good. Higher levels of GABA mean higher levels of feelings of calm. Perhaps before your next anticipated stressful social situation, scheduling a 60-minute yoga class beforehand may offer you the calm feelings you need to confidently feel your best at this event. The next topic I'd like to discuss is mindfulness and meditation. Meditation is a mental training involving quieting and slowing down the mind, and mindfulness describes a specific manner of living that is cultivated through this system. I have recorded previous podcasts on these topics and went into both with greater detail. You will find these when scrolling through previous recordings. Also, the blog article that this podcast is based on offers more detail. I will include links. The combination of mindfulness and meditation is a powerful antidote to anxiety. Incorporating a daily practice will go a long way in helping you to re-regulate your nervous system. While your nervous system is regulated, spikes in anxiety significantly decrease. This will be your best ally in social situations. There are many different types of meditation, mostly falling under the categories of guided and unguided or silent. The relaxation component of meditation, in its many forms, provides long-lasting health benefits to the mind and body, including increasing volume in brain regions, reducing anxiety and depression, and improving immune function. While there is not a universally accepted or best method, there are components of meditation that are consistent across practices. They include focused attention, breath awareness, quiet and comfortable setting, and an attitude of non-judgment or observer. The best meditation is the one that is best for you and the one that you will consistently do. As you move away from the distracting and critical inner dialogue to a state of mind of non-judgment and acceptance, you will help reduce the more debilitating aspects of social anxiety disorder, which is the negative and ruminative self-talk. A quiet place and a comfortable seat are all you need to begin the practice. Notice when your mind and thoughts wander and bring your attention back to your breath. You can add aromatherapy. Aromatherapy is the use of essential oils or other aromatic plant compounds for healing and wellness. Certain fragrances have been shown to have a clinically quantifiable effect on mood. Incorporating aromatherapy into your meditation practice may help facilitate feelings of calm and relaxation. That's done through its primary processing pathway, the olfactory system. For purposes of relaxation, lavender is typically the aromatherapy expert's go-to scent. Once your brain and nervous system pair your relaxed state with a certain scent, you will be able to take this scent with you by adding a few drops to a cotton ball, to the anticipated social event and obtain the relief needed just by smelling and inhaling the scent. The scent's molecules will travel from the olfactory nerves directly to your brain and especially to your hippocampus and amygdala, which are the memory and emotional center of your brain. The pairing of the relaxation scent should help bring immediate relief. Be patient though. It takes time to create the pairing and the association, and it's not always 100%, but it has helped a lot of people get through tough times. So it goes something like this. If while you're meditating and achieving that calm state inside, you're also smelling lavender or maybe even peppermint, then taking that scent with you when you are interacting socially, again, maybe putting it on a cotton ball, may help bring your brain and your nervous system back to that place of calm. It's definitely worth trying, and you have nothing to lose here. I also love the idea of an emotional support dog, but I do realize, being a mom of 2 canines, that dogs are not the most convenient pets. While I will be stating the benefits of an emotional support dog, it is important to note that for practicality purposes, adopting a dog will not be for everyone. There is a considerable amount of commitment, care, and financial resources that are needed to keep your dog healthy and happy. Although most love the idea of a companion canine, the added stress of caring for one may end up being counterproductive in your management of anxiety. If an emotional support dog is doable, then he or she can be a valuable companion for someone with social anxiety. Dogs offer unconditional love and non-judgmental support. They easily inspire conversation in social settings and can help you meet and talk with others while allowing the focus to be on your cute and eager companion and off of you. Dogs also provide a comforting presence, helping to reduce feelings of isolation and loneliness. Loving and living with a pet is good for your nervous system and brain. Most of us do not need research to support this claim. We know firsthand the benefits we feel when petting, interacting, and/or playing with and caring for our companion animals. However, just because we feel it to be true, it's helpful to know that science confirms what we already know. When petting, playing, or cuddling with your pet, an increase in the release of oxytocin can take place. This contributes to the strong emotional bond and attachment you will share with your pet that serves to improve well-being and positive feelings. Also, positive interactions with our pets help stimulate the release of dopamine, the neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and reward. Simply being in the presence of your pet can release dopamine. While oxytocin and dopamine are important, interacting with our pets also boosts endorphins, your body's natural painkillers, and serotonin, which help to ward off depression and depressive feelings, as well as to reduce anxiety. The gift of socially connecting. Be kind and patient with yourself. You did not ask for this condition. And the mission here is not to transform you into a social butterfly. Your goal is to be you and bring the best you in your engagement with others and with your world. If anxiety is part of the equation, then with acceptance, allow it to be. However, you will not want it to dominate your life. It can tag along and quietly hang out. Many have lived highly productive and joyful lives knowing they are managing their levels of anxiety. Or you may find that its effects on your life have become so imperceptible that it no longer requires any effort on your part to manage it. Either way, anxiety no longer defines or confines you. Success has been achieved. Practice self-compassion and self-care and remind yourself that with time, effort, and support, you can overcome social anxiety disorder. Acknowledge and celebrate each success in your forward movement. Before you know it, you will be finding yourself more peacefully engaging with others and reaping the rich benefits of social connections. Now, go engage in your world. Take a friend with you. Take your dog with you. take an aromatherapy scent with you. However you do it, it will be worth it.
The information presented is intended for general knowledge and is not a substitute for medical advice or treatment. As with most things in life, there isn't a magic pill or cure-all, but there are strategies to help regain control of your life. If you'd like to read or learn more about today's and other related topics, please visit drmarierogers.blogspot.com. Dr. Rogers' Life in Focus, a self-discovery journal for powerful transformation, is currently available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and bookbaby.com.